Good morning. Let me move that. Tim from Bread of Life, he's the director over there. He always sends me little inspirational verses from the Bible, and I really appreciate that. It's a good thing to read the first thing every morning. Okay, y'all. Bernadette, I hope you're listening and watching, sweetie. Now, I'm going to show y'all this. She requested some shortbread cookies, and I found this recipe that sounded good. And I'm going to tell y'all shortbread cookies are pretty darn easy. You just have to chill them for about 45 minutes. Okay, here's the recipe, and one of y'all said that you could take a screenshot of that. So I'm holding this up, and I'll hold the directions up. Okay. Oops, I don't know if you can get all that. Can you get all that? Okay, now I'm going to tell you what's in these cookies. Now, these are maple shortbread cookies, y'all. Since I love syrup, I thought these would be pretty good. Okay, so 1 cup of softened butter, 1/4 cup of sugar. Now, y'all, I was like, are you sure that's enough sugar? It's what it's called for. 3 tablespoons, that's a lot, of cornstarch. 1 teaspoon of maple extract. Y'all know what time it is? It is 10 minutes to 8. Now, I've already put these, the cookie stuff together, and it's chilling right now. And then 1 3/4 cups all-purpose flour. And it calls for a glaze, 3/4 cups plus 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar and 1/3 cup of pure maple syrup. Now, I did not have any maple flavoring, so vanilla. I did put a tiny bit of maple syrup in there, so I hope it doesn't ruin them. It wasn't very much at all. Now, when I creamed the butter and the sugar together, you cream that stuff and then you feel a little bit between your fingers. If it's gritty, you haven't creamed it long enough. I'm going to tell y'all, I love the tips that you get on all these recipes, but most of them I've gotten from Phyllis Stokes's website. And Phyllis, we sure hope, sweetie, that you are doing okay. Okay, so what you do, in a large bowl, you beat the butter, sugar, and the cornstarch together with the maple or vanilla extract. Slowly add the flour, mixing until combined. Now, y'all, I'm going to tell you, it may be a miracle if these cookies turn out. First of all, I use vanilla. I put a teeny bit of maple syrup. I mixed in my cornstarch. This is why you read your recipe. Don't do as I do. Do as I say. That was a favorite thing that my dad used to say to me all the time, especially putting his feet up on the coffee table. Without his shoes, of course, my mother would have hit him upside the head with a frying pan. Okay. I mix my cornstarch and my flour together. Now, how many recipes do you see where it says mix all your dry ingredients? So that was the first thing I did. Then I had my flour and cornstarch in the big bowl, and I used a smaller, narrow bowl. I guess I've already washed that. The cookie dough's in it. I used a smaller, taller bowl to do the sugar and the butter. Well, since the flour was in a bigger bowl, instead of mixing the flour into the butter mixture, I mixed the butter mixture into the flour. Really, y'all, does it make that much difference? We'll see. Okay, so there's a glaze, and it is 3/4 cups plus 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar. Did I already say this, y'all? A 1/3 cup of pure maple syrup. Now, I've got log cabin. I don't know how pure that is. But anyway, when you mix up your powdered sugar and your maple syrup, you can put it in a baggie, cut the tip off, this is always what I do with my deviled eggs. Put your stuff in there, and then you squirt it. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Now, when the dough comes out of the refrigerator, and it's 45 minutes, I've still got about 20 minutes to go. But anyway, what you do is you shape it, and then you roll it out. I tell you, I really have thought about starting an Amazon wish list. I'm not going to, but I've thought about it. I don't have a rolling pin, y'all. So this is what I'm going to use. One of my cans. Now, a good tip that Phyllis has is, instead of putting flour down and putting your dough down there and making a mess, she puts down, oops, I think this is Walmart brand. Let's not advertise for them. Plastic wrap, saran wrap. She puts a sheet or two down, depending on how big she needs to roll out. And this tip was when she was making pie crust. I'm assuming it's going to work for cookie dough. And when she gets done rolling out, there's no mess. She wads up the saran wrap and tosses it. Please don't get on to me about plastic, okay? I can't talk this morning. Let's see. So that's what I'm going to do. And we'll see how these cookies turn out. It also says to use a cookie cutter. I don't have any cookie cutters. Those are schmancy, y'all. I love cookie cutters, though. Anyway, remember my little tiny can? That's what I'm going to use to cut my cookies. And I'm going to tell y'all, this is going to work every bit as good as a cookie cutter. Remember our metal biscuit cutters with a little wooden handle on the top? Had a couple little tiny holes in the top so that the dough would come out. This is what I'm using. Another use for your tin cans. Now, this can is ribbed. Unfortunately, it'll be covered with icing, or that would make a pretty little pattern on my cookies. Maybe I'll leave one plain so we can see. But y'all, Bernadette, sweetie, I'm doing my best, okay? I learned my lessons the hard way. Y'all know that. I'm going to try to start reading my recipes better so I can put them together the way they're supposed to. But another interesting little experiment in DJ's Disaster Kitchen. I'll try to show rolling out that dough. It may have to be pressed out. Now, I did see a pie crust recipe, and that's what you do. You make up the pie crust, and then you smash it with your hands. That's another thing I don't have. A cake plate. It's amazing the stuff that you use when you cook. I may have something in here that I can improvise with. I'll have to give that some thought. Oh, hold on. Look at this, y'all. This is a lid to a Pyrex dish. So I know this can go in the oven. And what I need to do is I need to measure it right now. I just got goosebumps. Well, it's 8.5. It's not 9, but that's close enough. When I make a filling, I may have a tidge too much for this pie crust, and you can see that the edge is not really deep, but you know those kind of cheaper, now I had the deep one with the little crimpies all around the edges, but I can make that work. This is Debrajoy with DJ's Disaster Kitchen, and I will talk to y'all again a little bit later. Bye now. I'm going to try to pause this. I'm determined to learn how to do that, y'all, but I don't know how long your phone will hold a pause. Now, it may just like cut off. If it does, that's fine. If it erases my whole video, I'm going to be upset. And let me tell you something. I made a little video with Hazel in her bikini. I don't know what happened to it. I looked in my trash, and my trash on my phone. It wasn't in there. I have no idea. You know what could have happened? Instead of putting my phone on video, I bet I had it on photo. It's amazing that I am alive. I made something else yesterday too, y'all. I made some banana chocolate chip bars. Now, after I did them and they cooled, I put them in the refrigerator because all the reviews, I like to read the reviews, said that they are so good if you refrigerate them. And the reason I made them is because Fridays they have game day down at the clubhouse, and I never go, and Karen always stops by to remind me, and I'm in the yard, dirt up to my knees, and I don't go. But I'm going to go this morning. So I made those bars to take up there as a treat. Now, my best chocolate chip cookie recipe ever is still covered and chilled in the refrigerator. If y'all remember, they said you can chill that dough up to 5 days. So, I haven't made those yet. It's only 8 o'clock, and woe is me, the sun's coming out. Y'all remember when I was scraping about the rain? Oh, my word. Okay, y'all, I'm going to pause this, and we'll see what happens with that as well. Okay, I started it back up after a couple of seconds, so I'm going to pause it again. Hey, y'all. I can't believe my phone paused that long. Okay, now I'm going to show y'all. Let me see. Here we go. I split the dough in half because saran wrap is not huge. And I don't have one of those mats. You know, the big round silicone kind that has the different circles on it. But that's okay. Anyway, I used my little can here. And I only used half of the dough at one time. Look how easy this comes off, y'all. Check that out. Is that awesome? Now, I am going to put a little bit of flour over here. Oh. Oh, don't look at my girl holder. I stuck the wrong end in the flour. Okay, so let's see if we can get a round cookie out of that. Well, looks like. Now I'm hoping when I pull these up with a knife, they're going to come off of that paper on the other side. Because I didn't use any flour on it. I can't imagine making. Am I going to get a cookie out of that? There we go. I can't imagine making any more mistakes. Oh, another thing that's good to have in your kitchen that I loved when I had it. It's an offset spreader. And so it comes across like this, and then it bumps up, and then you have your handle. So that is really awesome, y'all. Now let's see if we can get these. Are y'all close enough? Let's see if I can get these out of here. It's looking kind of iffy, y'all. You know what I'm going to do before I totally ruin this? If I haven't already, I'm going to take some flour, flop it over there just a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to turn these over. There we go. Now, maybe these will come up easier because they've got a little flour on the bottom. There we go. Okay, now I'm not totally stupid, y'all. Sometimes it works. Okay, so let's see. This cookie dough is when it starts warming up, it is very, very soft and sticky. So, and I'm going to tell you, it is not the cookie dough that you want to eat, okay? It really does not have that good of a flavor, at least not to me. My little friends at game day, there doesn't appear to be very many people who go. Karen always goes. Let me just wad all this stuff up. I'm going to put it in a pile. And I am not going to use my fingers to roll that in a ball. That would be a disaster. So I'm just going to flatten this out again, these pieces, and use my little cutter. I'm telling you, this little thing is working great. I'm so glad I kept it. Because I don't have any cookie cutters. We used to do cookies at Christmas and everything. And, you needed all that stuff. When you live in a van, you don't have cookie cutters at all. I'm loving this saran wrap, you guys. I mean, loving it. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to put my little dabs of dough right here. And let me see. I guess I'll do this ahead of time. I can tell y'all, cleanup is going to be so easy. There we go. Now I'm kind of kneading that just a little bit. There goes the oven, because it was pretty lumpy when it came out of the fridge. That might need to be smashed out a little bit more. My fancy roller here. Okay. It really does not make that big of a design in the cookies. But that's okay. Didn't say anything in the recipe that you needed. Now, I am not worried about perfection. That might be a downfall of mine, y'all. I go for good, not for perfection. Okay, now I've got my cookie sheet full. Now these cookies, sorry y'all, it's okay tasting dough, but it's not really anything you really, want to put your fingers in. But anyway, I'm going to get out another cookie sheet, and I'm going to continue with this process. I can't tell y'all how much I love this saran wrap. Loving it. Look at my hands. I haven't had to get in there and get them all sticky, and this dough is really sticky. Anyway, baking these about 13 minutes. Now these are white cookies, okay? It's pretty easy to tell when other cookies are done, but these will be just a little brown around the edges. So, I'm going to pause y'all again. I may be pausing you all the time because now I've got it figured out. So, I'll be back when that batch comes out of the oven. Talk to y'all later. I'm done. I have to frost those cookies, and then I'll show them to you, but it'll be a picture. Y'all do something fun today, okay? I'm on my way to game day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye now.